Alright, so this is how you're gonna scream, and I'm gonna show you. I don't feel like remembering anything, so I just got my notes right here. So what you want to do is find relatively easy songs that you can scream to. So just make sure that they are songs you enjoy, that they have a sense of pitch. That way you can practice it like on the piano or guitar when you're finding the pitch, and you could sing it and then eventually build the scream into it. That it is melodic. Want to make sure it's not too demanding with some super heavy stuff like with Lorna Shore or Slaughter to Prevail, because you need to first build up your foundation before you get there. So start easy, and that it's not too demanding on your voice, because you don't want to wear out your voice. Unfortunately, you only got one voice. Unlike when you play guitar or drums, which you could play for hours and hours on end, you cannot sing for hours and hours on end. So I would say find about 5 songs that you like, that you really want to learn how to scream to. I don't remember off the top of my head 5 songs, but I have 2 songs I know I can do. Polyamorous by Breaking Benjamin and Uneasy Hearts Weigh the Most by Dance Kevin Dance. So just make sure to remember those things, find those songs that you want to learn, and then we're going to move on to the next step. First thing you want to do is have a hot beverage like tea. I like to drink tea. I always go to Dunkin' because it's on my way here to the studio. I just get chamomile tea with a couple things of honey because that's what I like. Gets the voice nice and warmed up and soothes it and opens up your throat. Make sure no dairy. That's gonna clog up your throat, and you don't want that. You want your voice to be free, not clogged. Get rid of any phlegm in your throat, anything that it feels like it's clogging up. If you gotta spit. You gotta do that, you know, anything to get rid of it. It needs to be free of anything. That's why you want hot drinks too. Make sure they are warm to, doesn't have to be super hot, but you know, hot enough where it's manageable. Because if you're gonna drink cold drinks, that's a big no. That's gonna close up your throat, and you don't want that. Trust me, you wanna warm up. So you're gonna wanna start with the songs that you chose, whichever one they are. Don't sing them at the pitch that they are right now. Drop it an octave and let it gradually get warmed up with ease, and then relatively raise the pitch to the normal pitch that it is once it starts to feel easier on you. Don't go hard right away. Take it easy. Don't force it. I'd say warm up for about 20 to 30 minutes is good with the song that you have. And in between, drink your beverage, that is, you know, warm or hot tea or hot water if you don't like tea. If you have access to a piano or any musical instrument, practice your scales too while you're doing it. That way you have some kind of routine and you can develop your sense of pitch while you're doing it too. And explore your entire range of your voice. Alright, so you want to be standing and standing tall. Don't but you know, stand normally. Stand how you normally would. So you need to feel the sensation of screaming. I would say close your eyes so you could listen more than see and be distracted by whatever you're surrounded by. And really feel what's going on right here. Make your voice have that fry voice, like in The Grudge, like I'm a bit warmed up already, so it's pretty easy. If you could do that pretty easily with a good tone, then you're off to a good start. Remember, clear your throat if there's anything in there. Phlegm, whatever gunk is in there, shit you ate from last night, clear it out. And don't forget to drink your hot beverage too in between while you're warming up and practicing your screaming techniques. Keeps the voice stayed warmed up. And you want to keep that tone consistent with all the energy that you can, but don't try to go too long. If it's good at a short period of time, then keep practicing it for that short period of time, because eventually you're going to develop the muscles to keep going longer and longer. So if it's good for a short period of time, that means you're doing something right. If you like the way it sounds and it lasts like a second or two, then that's good. That means you're progressing. So don't stop. Don't be discouraged. Just keep it going. And between the differences of like high and low, it all depends on like where you want the pitch to be. So for higher, you obviously gotta raise your throat a little bit. For lower, you also wanna lower your throat. For that higher pitch screams, you kind of wanna elongate it this way. Whereas for lower pitch screams, you kind of want to make it more of a circle. And low is and make sure to like experiment with where your tongue placement is, because that will also determine how the tone is going to be, and it will affect it. So if you put your tongue down, opposed to there's a difference for sure. And be honest with yourself. Like if you know it doesn't really sound the way you want it, keep practicing. Don't stop. Keep it going. And once you ensure the tone is good, start adding some power into it and adding a lot of volume and just giving it just a fuck ton of power. You gotta give it power. It's something that has to build, unfortunately. Try to really feel where the tone is going with it too. I know it's hard, but you gotta have to like imagine what your voice is doing inside your throat and just kind of have to experiment with it. It takes a while. You have to like give it time. It took me a while to get to where I am right now with my screams. I practice in my car a lot, just going back and forth to work, school, anytime I had the time to make weird noises and scream and be loud without disturbing anybody. So start now and don't stop. Practice every day and you'll get there. But if your voice is starting to hurt, give it a rest. Call it a day. If your voice still feels a little the next day, don't do any screaming. Maybe some light singing is okay, but don't strain your voice or just do too much with it. You only got one voice, and when it's gone, that's it. And I would say practice for about like 15 minutes at a time. After 15 minutes, give yourself a little break. If you feel like your voice is good to go still, okay, keep going. But if you feel like you're tired or you're starting to get a little tired or lightheaded, then stop. Give it a rest. You don't want to strain yourself. It's not worth straining your voice over. I know you want to get good at it, but you got to make sure you're doing it right, correct, and healthy. Don't blow out your voice. And keep repeating it until you get the desired results that you want. It's going to take time, unfortunately. But if you start now, you'll get there eventually. So that's my lesson for today. Remember to find the songs that you really want to learn to scream to, warm up, and then practice those screaming techniques. Take your time, don't strain your voice, and if your voice is tired, give it a rest. Once you feel your voice is good to go, continue. And that's all. Peace out.